Hello friends, my name is Ilya Zavaliv and I'm an engineer of the future. In the last video I explained how to calculate the budget for a development project. Specifically, I showed an example of a budget calculation for a 100,000 square meter office building, and today I'll explain how to manage that budget during the different phases of the project's implementation. Specifically, I'll talk about managing the changes that inevitably occur in any construction project. So let's get started. First, let's take a look at the budget report form. This is a table that includes a column for the approved budget, then the change order number, the change amount, and the current budget, as well as columns for contracted work, paid work, and earned value. In this particular video, I will not be covering contracted work, paid work, or earned value. I will discuss those topics in the next video. Instead, today we will be focusing on change management, the difference between the approved budget and the current budget, and how we account for changes in the project budget. So we're now going to go through the phases from concept to operation. In each phase, we'll encounter various problems and changes, and we're going to manage them. Alright, the start of the project, the concept phase, the beginning of the research work. We've purchased the land and ordered surveys, design, engineering, and green certification. And during the surveys, it turned out that the soil needs to be reinforced. This will require additional earthworks and extra costs for the structural frame. This results in two change orders, one for the earthworks and another for the cost of the structural frame, which increases our current budget by drawing from unforeseen expenses. We reflect this in our report, showing the change order numbers, the cost of the changes, and the reduction in unforeseen expenses that compensates for these cost items. During the design phase, we conduct a value engineering procedure. Using a digital energy twin, we optimize the building systems and solutions. We come to the conclusion that we need to increase the cost and quality of the facades, as well as the quality and cost of the engineering solutions. At the same time, our costs for connecting to the utility networks are reduced. As a result, our budget is reduced by 0.4 million, while the quality of the building increases. We record this as a change, increasing the engineering systems and networks and facades items, and reducing the utility connections and technical conditions item. All of this is reflected in the report. The next phase of project implementation, which is a crucial and essential step in the overall process, is tendering and procurement. At this stage, we need to sign a comprehensive general contractor agreement with the selected party. During the tender process, the best offer that we receive turns out to be approximately 7% higher than the previously calculated construction cost. The contractor provides an explanation for this difference by the increase in prices for concrete, reinforcement, and facade works. These changes in cost are reflected in the relevant budget items. Additional expenses are again covered from reserves, and we record a new report with these important changes. At the construction phase, we face two significant factors. First, the city is unable to provide us with the required power supply, as an additional substation must be constructed and funding for this essential infrastructure is needed. Second, the investor requests to increase the building's premium level by improving the quality of finishes in the entrance area and the common spaces, which are shared areas accessible to everyone in the building. We reflect these important changes and updates in the technical conditions and external networks item, as well as in the common area finishes and partitions item. Our contingencies gradually decreased from 20% to 6% at this point, but since more than half of the construction is completed, we only need to finish the project, commission it, and test it during the first year of operation. Let's move on. By the end of construction, additional works were carefully identified on doors, finishes, and landscaping. The contractor also submitted a detailed claim stating that equipment import duties had significantly increased, which raised the cost of engineering systems. We reviewed this and it led to three changes. The first is an increase in landscaping costs, the second is an increase in finishing costs, and the third is an increase in the cost of engineering systems. After careful consideration and review, we reflected these 3 important changes in the overall project budget. As a result of these updates, our contingencies decreased to 3%. We then reached the commissioning stage. The state commission inspection was completed, and inspectors, we identified several non-compliances with the current fire safety standards and regulations. Additionally, we found and secured a new anchor tenant who specifically requested an additional fit-out to accommodate the requirements of a modern data center. The changes made to the project must also be reflected and approved in the design. We recorded 3 notable changes. The first, an increase in the expense of engineering systems to meet the necessary inspection requirements. The second point is the provision of additional engineering capacity to fully support the data center. And the third, an additional payment to the designer for updating the project documentation package. We entered all these items into the updated budget report and moved on. The building was commissioned. During the first year of operation, various defects and unfinished works were discovered, which the contractor fixed at their own. The expense was incurred under warranty obligations. Meanwhile, new tenants gradually appeared in the building, and one of them specifically requested, after a small reconfiguration to better adapt the available space to their specific needs, we reached an agreement and had to pay additional costs, once again using the reserves allocated to the finishes and partitions item. By the end of the first year of operation, we had only about 1% of our reserves left, but we still managed to complete the project within the budget and even improved its overall quality and handled all unforeseen challenges. However, we did not experience serious crises such as a black swan event, unforeseen situations that no reserve can cover. In such cases, the project's implementation strategy must be reconsidered entirely. The project is completed. In the next video, I will explain how to manage indicators such as the total contracted works, paid works, and the earned value method to effectively control cash flow utilization. Such financial reports are very important for effective cost management, as well as for accurate reporting to lending banks, investors, and business partners, so that they can clearly and transparently see how funds are spent and be confident that the allocated budget is sufficient to fully complete the project and will cover the necessary reserves as well as all potential risks. So, thanks for watching. This was Ilya Zavaliv, the engineer of the future. See you in the future. Bye bye.